Garoppolo got the start for the Patriots in their first preseason game last night. Garoppolo threw for 235 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Jimmy G will be a free agent at the end of the season, while Tom Brady turned 40 last week. Shannon, what impact did last night have on Belichick's thinking about his quarterback situation?
I think it confirmed what he already knew, that he would be in good hands if Tom Brady was to step away. Coach Belichick doesn't have to worry about whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo would be good in anybody else's system. He knows he can play in that system. And we've seen guys before look good when they come in, and when they go other places, they're not the same. So Coach Belichick doesn't need to worry about, well, he can't play for that team, or he's just a guy, he's just a system guy.
Yep.
Well, as long as Coach Belichick's there and Josh McDaniels is going to run the system that's been there in place for 18 years, Jimmy Garoppolo will be just fine. So I don't see him, and I'm sure there are a lot of teams after watching that performance last night, Skip, saying we'd love to get our hands on Jimmy Garoppolo. But I believe Jimmy is worth more to the Patriots than he is to someone else. Because something were to happen to Tom Brady, Skip, you don't want anything, and I'm not wishing, I'm knock on wood, said I don't want anything to happen to Tom. But if something were to happen to Tom, Jacoby Brissett is not Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe if something were to happen to Tom, the Patriots would still be the favorite to win the Super Bowl because they have Coach Belichick.
It's a mouthful you just said.
Absolutely. I still believe they would be the favorite.
Is that some Brady hate that just
No. It ain't no Brady, but Coach Belichick and that defense. And Josh McDaniel will dial up the plays, and he does a great job of calling plays. Now, you can get away with a lot more things when you have Tom Brady as your quarterback. But if you watch Jimmy Garoppolo and the way they call plays with him, and then when Jacoby Brissett came in and when they call plays for him, they tailor their offense to the quarterback. Now, obviously, Tom Brady, you have the entire playbook open, and I believe you have a large part of the playbook open with Jimmy Garoppolo. But from what I've seen, Skip, I feel real comfortable in saying that Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starting quarterback in 2018 for the Patriots.
I do agree with your bottom line to this. But before I answer Joy's question, just a quick aside. The throw of the night came from Jimmy G last night, but it wasn't such a great throw. It was a great catch.
It was.
By somebody named Austin Carr. Check that out. Austin Carr.
Not the basketball
I thought
player.
there was only one Austin Carr in sports, right? We had him on our show
We
in
did.
Cleveland, right?
Yep.
And he was a great Cleveland Cavalier, and now he is a great broadcaster for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And there he was, undrafted out of Northwestern. And guess what, Shannon?
Yep.
Patriots strike again. Another Amendola, another Edelman, another Chris Hogan. There he is.
Yep.
6'1", 195, so he's not that little. But look at that catch.
Yep.
Wow, that looked like Shannon Sharp.
That's a good number, Skip. The 84.
I was thinking of you last night.
Yeah,
When I saw it was 84, I thought, wow,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe. But again, this is what they do, undrafted. But he made first team All Big Ten at Northwestern, so he's perfect for them.
Right.
Now, back to Jimmy G. I didn't watch the game last night. I just saw the highlights. But every time I watch him, he looks really good.
Yes.
And his body language is really authoritative, like he is in total command of the offense and in total command of his emotions. He was rocking and firing in the highlights I saw.
Yes.
Big arm. He's got a good personality. I'm sure he could be somebody's face of the franchise. Good-looking kid. He's got it all. Got the whole package. So, to me, I'm wondering last night, man, that was a showcase because in game number 1, Jimmy G played 2.5 quarters. In fact, a little more than 2.5. That's a lot of football for game number 1. Obviously, Brady wasn't going to play.
Right.
But what is the method to the madness? What are you doing, Coach Belichick? Are you trying to market him for trade? Maybe, but I'm with you. I think mostly you're trying to condition Patriot Nation to see enough of Jimmy G that he can light it up, 22 or 28, to say, there's the future. That's the guy who's going to replace the beloved number 12. And I'm with you. I think we're heading toward signing Jimmy G after this season and that he will be the starting quarterback next year. And I believe it's because Bill Belichick, who's now, I think, 65, wants a shot because he thinks he's earned a shot at winning a championship with no Tom Brady.
Right.
Brady to me, I give Brady 75% of the credit. You think it's more like advantage Belichick somehow, right? 60-40.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's laughable to think that Jimmy G could take them to the Super Bowl this year if he got thrown in. I got to knock on wood again for terrible reasons, but it's just too much too soon. Especially he wouldn't win as many games in the regular season, so they might not have home field advantage in the playoffs, and he would struggle in the playoffs. That's just me, but I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. Do I think he's going to be Tom Brady? I do not. Is there some fear that if you traded 2 first-rounders or whatever you had to give for him, that he would prove to be a little bit of a product of the Patriots, the way we've seen that happen before? Although Matt Castle, he did make a Pro Bowl in Kansas City, and then he was a disaster in Dallas. Oh, from the castle to the outhouse, as I used to say, right?
Ice cream sand castle.
Yeah, sand castle. But in this case, he's throwing a bunch of guys who, Austin Carr, maybe he'll be the next guy, but I don't think he's going to contribute this year. And then somebody named Jacob Hollister caught 7 balls for 116 yards. A new Shannon Sharp, a new Gronk. I don't know. He's a tight end.
And that's the thing, though, Skip. You only got.
Wyoming.
I mean, they traded for Brandon Cook.
Yeah.
They got Mitchell, who played big for him last year. You have Edelman, Amendola. You got Hogan. Are you going to really carry 7 wide receivers?
Practice squad.
Well, if you release them, somebody else might sign them.
Yep.
Or is that the risk you're really run? Now they could. I've seen players get an opportunity to go sign somewhere else, but stay because they're comfortable in that situation because they believe they're in the right situation.
By the way, I like Malcolm Mitchell too.
Yeah,
Good
and so
player.
that's the.
I mean, they're loaded.
But Skip, when you look at him in this offense, have we ever seen a backup quarterback in any system look like Steve Young? But back then, you could keep a guy, Skip. He couldn't go anywhere. You had his rights.
Yep.
Now he's seeing all these guys making $18, $20 million. You don't think that Jimmy Garoppolo thinks he's as good as Kirk Cousins? Or he's as good as these guys that's making $18, $20 million a year?
I believe he thinks he's better.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So he's not going to just, just stay a couple more. He's like, no. And he said it. I'm not used to being a backup. I want to be a starter. I want to compete to be a starter.
I don't blame him.
What? Hey, Skip, you see, he just saw Mike Glennon stink the joint up. It got $15 million last year. He's like, man, I know I'm better than him. And he ain't lying.
He was stinking the joint up before he got $15 million. I mean, I don't get it, but whatever.
Well, Skip, that's how they got Jameis Winston. Because he stunk it up so bad, Tampa got the #1 overall draft pick. Because if he could play, he would still be in Tampa, and Jameis Winston would.
Maybe that's their strategy.
Maybe that's what it was.
I saw Mike Glennon stink it up against my Vanderbilt Commodores in a bowl game. That's how bad he was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jimmy, I don't know. And you saw Tom looking over his shoulder. Sit down, Tom. You're not in the game. Put the headset on.
He was cheerleading.
No, don't be looking over that man's shoulder. He should have shot him a quick ball like that.
He was rooting for him.
Hey,
Tom has nothing to worry about.
Hey, you're in the crowded area. Back up.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Tom Brady is going to be on the market, I believe, a year from today or whenever they decide to do it.
Jimmy.
Huh?
I'm thinking, Skip. I mean, from what I've seen in that offense, and Coach Belichick, like I said, I think Coach Belichick, what is 2 first-rounders, Skip? Let's just say for the sake of argument, you trade Jimmy Garoppolo for 2 first-round picks, and you keep Tom, and a year later he steps off a cliff. Then where are you?
Nowhere. I would agree with that. It's not a good trade-off.
No.
Nope, it doesn't work, which is why I'm hoping Mr. Kraft gives Tom Brady what he has earned, which is a nice parting gift of just release him and let him pick.
Nah, just give him $20 million and tell him to go retire.
Well, go retire?
Yeah, $20 million.
He doesn't
He's not
want
gonna
to.
retire.
He's going to play 5 more years, and he's going to make you eat a whole bunch of crow because he's going to go win a Super Bowl elsewhere.
Either you retire or you go into Jacksonville or Cincinnati.
We'd love to have you in Miami, Tom.
No, you ain't going to no nice weather. Jacksonville or Cincinnati.
Retire in
Then
South Florida.
Jacksonville or Cincinnati is going to win a Super Bowl.
Skip,
You watch.
I can't even believe you, Skip.
Well, have you checked him out? Just look at the little clips
go-
you see from camp. Does he not look good? Does his body not look great?
When we go to break, you need to go off stage and say, "Love, forgive me for what I just said," because I know Jacksonville ain't going to
Tom believes.
I'm not.
Tom,
I
Leave it
believe.
there. Brady, has Kyrie Irving stopped talking to his